Hi, everybody. Welcome back and Merry Christmas. Hopefully, this will be easy to do, but we shall see. So, I know that this is Diamonds Are for Christmas, but I decided that, with everybody doing the Marshmallow Chubby Bunny Challenge, I guess it's called. I don't know. I'm not doing that. And, we have a young lady who I think was talking about doing scary stuff for Christmas. Scary Christmas stories. I have no idea. But I decided that I wanted to take us back to a time when it was simpler and there was no pandemic and Christmas wasn't about purchasing gifts and making sure everybody got all the electronics and all the newest things and everything else. But take us back to a time when Christmas was simple and peaceful, and it was just more childlike and more innocent. And I think that that's, looking back, those are my favorite Christmases, both in my childhood as well as my children's childhoods. I think our favorite Christmases were times when they were little and they would make mommy a Christmas present and I would make gifts for them, and of course they got some things from the store, but that wasn't what it was about. It was, we would all have dinner together, and my grandma was, of course, still alive, and my dad, and it was just a wonderful time. And on Christmas Eve, we would always follow one tradition, even into them becoming adults, until a few years ago when I started getting so sick at Christmas time that I couldn't really carry on the tradition. So I decided that this year I was going to regenerate that tradition because, my grandson Danny is turning 7 the day after Christmas. And of course, this will be my baby grandson Charles's very first Christmas. And so I want to make sure that even after I'm gone from this world, my grandsons and potentially any other grandchildren that may come along, which had better not be from that daughter. Her health won't do that anymore. But that their mom or dad, somebody could carry on the tradition for me when it's time for me to move on. But my grandpa started this tradition, I'm guessing, with my dad and his brothers. And it was probably a tradition when he was a boy in our family. I don't know. And right now, all you are seeing is white because, well, you all know that I've been doing some coloring lately to kind of stretch my legs and skills in my artwork so that I'm playing with new colors. So all of you are aware of that, I'm pretty sure. But what you aren't aware of is a special book that I got. So I am bringing this back to our family, only hopefully I will get a chance to finish coloring it this year, because this is actually a coloring book with the original artwork and illustrations from the old movie and the old book. And I think it's just wonderful. So every year I would read this to my kids, and now I'm going to read this to you. And I hope that's something that you will enjoy. Maybe you can sit and watch your Christmas tree lights, or you and your family can sit back and enjoy it with your grandchildren or children. Whatever that may be. But it will be out there if anybody wants it any year from now on. And I've never read a book to any of you on my channel. This is a brand new thing, and it is not going to be a regular thing. This is just special for Christmas. And I will be having to pause on occasion to grab a drink of coffee, of course, because, you all know me. And if there's any barking, I'm sorry, but, this is Art and Diamonds with Eskies, which means we're with the Eskies. And believe me, they're all in here. They're watching the TV where I have a fireplace on for them for sounds. And it's actually cold and rainy here. I'm so excited. We are only 53 degrees outside right now, a high of 61 for the day. And it's actually raining in Phoenix. Yay! My favorite time. And that just makes this all the more fun. So we are going to read together 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. If you choose to watch, please enjoy the illustrations, and please forgive me that they're not colored in. There was just not enough time. I only got to start working on the first page. But here we go. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore, illustrated by Charles Santore. Love his illustrations. This first little bit are some images from the old movie that you would be able to find, I'm sure, somewhere online. Yes, lovely imagery. And I guess that the original title to this book was A Visit from St. Nicholas. I never knew that. Here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. A little kitty by the fireplace. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter, and away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dried leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, and his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh and to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I know that that book doesn't fill my entire time with you, but I wanted it to be some piece of calm and joyful Christmases that many of us enjoyed as children, and maybe as adults with our children. So I thought it would be fun for us to have our little story and just enjoy going back to that time before when things were so much simpler, so much more peaceful. I truly hope that this Christmas you will get to either be with your loved ones, or if you cannot be with them in person, that you will at least get to be with them on a video chat or a phone call or in some way. And if, like me, your closest loved ones are furry, yes, Chrissy, I'm talking about you, then I hope that you enjoy a nice little dinner with them. It's not about all of the fancy things. It's about the love and the time that we spend with our loved ones. And I think Miss Tiny Girl agrees. So for those of you who love the puppies, there she is. She's speaking up about Christmas. So I was thinking about pulling out something diamond painting because it is diamonds are for Christmas. But I decided, everybody else is doing all the crazier things. So I think we'll just work on this book, because I also have some people that are part of the coloring community here. Thank goodness. I'm very happy to have them. So I thought we'd work on a little bit of this. And Chrissy has decided to come up right next to me and be such a love. She is a dear. I do have my Christmas lights on the window, around my window on for all of you, but you can't see them. Sorry. That's me for you. Chrissy Chris. I think the Eskies are also telling you Merry Christmas. Now, I know that when my stream goes live, it will not be Christmas Eve anymore. It will officially be Christmas. But still, you never can tell. Oh, thank goodness, coffee. In my opinion, one of the greatest things we've ever had. But that's me. You all know that. I'm a coffee person. I can't help it. All right, so let's pull out something fun and easy to work with. I don't know why I'm still working on this page with you. It's quite detailed. But I thought I'd get, maybe a little of the holly and ivy that's in there, and play with that. And I think that's holly and ivy and not mistletoe, but yikes. Mistletoe has white berries and holly has red berries. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do a bit of both throughout the book, because you've got to have a little bit of mistletoe somewhere in your life. At least that's what I thought when I was younger. Alright, so I'm going to brighten up the light. Oops. That way I can see the colors I'm working with. But I wanted the ambiance for the story. I hope that you are all having just a wonderful, wonderful day or night, whatever it is for you, and that you were able to find some joy in your Christmas. I know that this year it is especially difficult for quite a lot of us to be able to do that, because life got kind of complicated this year. However, we all find joy in some way and in some place in our world, I think, as we're able. And for me, that's usually my puppies and my grandbabies. And of course, you know, I love my kids. They're wonderful. But I don't know if we are going to be placed on lockdown statewide and not be able to have Christmas Eve dinner together, because we decided that, you know, all of the significant others' families do Christmas Day dinner, and none of them wanted to change everything around, obviously. So, well, me being me, I changed it around for them, and so we're doing ours on Christmas Eve this year if we're able to come together. Right now, that can't happen, and I didn't get to go to Thanksgiving because lovely chest infection that I just couldn't chance having my little grandbaby exposed to, or my daughter. She's been, my oldest daughter, she's not been in great health. She's had a very difficult year. So, yeah, making her sick just didn't seem like a great idea. That's me. Sorry, guys. I can't help it. The coughing is just, you know, that's my life right now. It seems to get that way every year, though. I'm kind of used to it, and it doesn't bother me much. It did upset me not to be with them on Thanksgiving, and I'm really hoping that we get to have Christmas Eve together so I can read this story to my grandsons. If not, then we will get them on video, chat with me, and I will read it to them that way, because, you know, I'm grandmom and I can do that. So I think I placed a few extra berries in there that were not meant to be there, but that's okay with me. It's my book and I'm allowed to. Alright, let's get a good green for this. We'll go with a nice layer of a lighter green, just a leaf green to start with, and then I can darken in some of the areas. I wonder what you are all up to for Christmas. Please let me know in the comments. You know, and what did you guys get for Christmas? Tell me what you got. I, of course, do not yet know, because, well, we film these a bit before Christmas for all of you, because Pippa Brown had, she, you know, this was her baby, this idea, and she has so much work that she does to make it all work and keep it organized and keep everybody on track. And although we do a lot of work as creators to get the videos done and edited and, you know, all of that good stuff, I think that we also have to acknowledge that the work that she does on top of that is just amazing. I would not have time for that in my world. I barely have time to do this. But I like being able to do something for those of you that maybe can't be with your loved ones this year, or, you know, maybe just want a little something extra to listen to while you are cooking dinner, or whatever that might be. I thought about, had my breathing been better, I might have even sung a little Christmas music for you, but that's okay. I think there's enough of it on the radio and such for everyone. There's definitely, you cannot turn on a country music station in Phoenix right now without it being predominantly Christmas music. It's crazy. So, the radio is, not happening here at home. I typically will listen to instrumental or classical renditions of Christmas music more than things like Grandma Got Run Over by the Reindeer. Although that is kind of funny once in a while. But it gets old. Because I'm now the grandma. I don't want to get run over by the reindeer. Thank you. But no. I'm just staying inside. That way the reindeer don't know where I am to run my butt over. Besides that, I think Spirit might chew on them if they tried. For those of you who know that I have had this little intruder issue for the last few weeks, it became funny with one of them, and I absolutely cannot do anything to harm him. I'm gonna have to try and get a hold of him in a friendly trap and have him put somewhere far from my house. Release him, because he's kind of become endeared to me. It's very odd. I do not like mice, but I guess I had to have a Christmas mouse this year. I had this big bag of pistachios here in my room that was sealed. It was closed. I don't even understand how this worked out. Well, this little mouse is probably that long. He's a little bit of a thing. He's not like a big one that's scaring me half to death. He's a cute little thing. He found that bag of pistachios, and it's up on top of my shelves. So I'm like, really, dude? He must have used the metal grating to climb up to get to it. But he got into the pistachios, and now every once in a while you'll hear him go in the bag, grab a pistachio, and run off. And I don't exactly know where he's stashing them. I'm afraid to find out, but we will eventually find out. And then you hear him chewing on, just nibbling at the shells to get to the nut. It's so funny. If I weren't scared to death of it, I would put gloves on and open them all up so he could just have the nuts. But, I don't know. We even talked about keeping him as a pet, but I went, putting wild animals in cages, that's not for me. So, no, he will be released somewhere safely. Somewhere far from my house. Maybe out in the riverbed that's, a mile or two away from me. We'll put him way down the Salt Riverbed where it doesn't get any water, and he can be safe and find his home, and of course, I'll put his pistachios out there for him. So my little Christmas mouse, the beginning of next month, I will get the humane traps, and we'll get him, and because I'll put the pistachios in the trap, so he has to go in the trap to get the darn nuts. And then he will be taken and turned loose with his nuts. The rest of them, however, no promises. So, because they are intrusive and rude. But he just became cute and endearing. And he is adorable. He's so tiny, And he's in the bag right now. You can see his little tail. It scares me to death to have this in my house, let me tell you. To no end, I am utterly terrified of them. But he's just so damn little. He's not hurting the puppies or getting into their food. The mouse that we had that was getting into their food, I chased that sucker out of my house. I was like, no, that's the line. You don't touch my puppy's things. And don't eat my books or diamond paintings or any of that, because then, we're going to have a problem. But this little guy, he wants the pistachios. I guess he's smarter than the other mice. He figured out what tasted good, and he found it. So if you hear a noise, all of a sudden somebody scampering away really quick in a moment, that will be my little Christmas mouse. Which is kind of what he's become to me. It's strange, This pandemic is making me in particular see things a little bit differently. Yes, they are pests. Yes, I want them gone. More than anybody could possibly want a mouse out of their house. But I found out that this little guy, I found out they're not dangerous. I was scared to death that they were deer mice. But no, they're little field mice. And so they don't carry the virus that could kill all of us, which was my big concern. He's gonna run in a moment. Anyway, he doesn't bother me. He doesn't come near me. He doesn't go near the puppies. He just eats his little pistachios and sleeps. I don't know where they're getting water because I make sure they can't get to my puppies' water, so I don't know about that. And I'm not putting water down for them because I don't want to draw more in to the house. I just don't. Sorry. I'm not that nice. I'll let the one little guy, have his pistachios until after Christmas, and then they all gotta go. But for now, it's Christmas time, and they are living beings, and I can't do anything to hurt an animal anyway, and I especially can't do it around the holidays. And this year, life is just, like I said, my perspective on some things has changed. There's been so much loss for everybody throughout the world that if I can prevent harming something, I will. Unless it's something intruding that could hurt my pups, then nope, we're gone. It's done. Big freezer time. So hopefully we won't have to do that. But we'll see. We shall see. But this little guy, yeah, he's just so tiny and cute. When he gets bigger, that's not cute. For now, he's cute. But you have to remember that back when I was in my late teens, I had pet mice. Little white pet mice. Now, my first one, I saved him from being snake food. And I named him Mousy Mousy. I had been petting him and touching him, and so the snake decided he didn't want to eat him. So I made the idiot take him out of the cage and give him to me, and I took him home and had a nice little setup for him. He was a happy little mouse. He went to the vet, let me tell you. But then I got a little girl so he wouldn't be lonely. And, of course, you don't know if they're boys or girls when you buy them, but I wanted him to have a companion. And she somehow got loose. Oh my God. So I got her back. I caught her, and she bit me. And her name then changed to the B word, because I was really angry that she bit me. I was okay, of course, but she escaped a second time. We never did figure out how she was getting out of the cage, but Mousy, he stayed in his cage. Mousy Mousy did. He liked his home. He was happy. So he stayed until it was time. And he lived a good little life. But she ended up escaping and passing away in a not very nice manner and scared the crap out of me. I ended up calling my dad at work crying. It was awful because I found her, and it was just a horrible thing. She never did leave the house, but and we never had more mice after that. I was like, nope, never again. Years later, I got teddy bear hamsters, which, oh my goodness, I miss my Peanut so much. Now, he lived for 5 years because I did some research and found out, what to feed them. They usually will only live 1 to 3 years, but he was huge. And I'd bring him out and put him on the bed. And Snowy would come up and lay on the bed all the time back then. And he would just climb all over Snowy, and he'd lay on Snowy's back and nestle in with Snowy, and they became buddies. So Frosty, however, thought he looked like a good toy, so that was not something we allowed. And my daughter had now he was a beautiful little tan and white one, little brown and white. He was cute. And we got my daughter a black and white, which is what she wanted because she had a thing for pandas. And we ended up naming him Gizmo. That hamster was a jerk. He was so mean. We had to get him a separate housing because he tried to hurt my Peanut. And that, nope, don't do that. That's my little buddy. So he got his own little container and wheel and all that good stuff. And then you couldn't handle him. Like, Peanut was awesome. You could handle him, play with him, talk to him. My daughter had him completely trained. But Not Gizmo. You couldn't train that one. He was just mean from the get-go. So we swore off black and white hamsters from then on out. But I swore I'd never have a pet mouse again, and yet here we are. I ended up with a house mouse that I think is kind of cute, so I'm not leaving him loose in my house, though. We will catch him, and then we will rehome him somewhere out in the wild where he belongs. But I will send his pistachios with him, let me tell you, because I'm certainly not touching them now. So the pistachios will go with him. And hopefully he will live a long and happy life out there and never come back here. So, yeah. We ended up with them because they're doing so much construction around us. And we're like surrounded by construction. So this whole housing district got hit with the field mice. And a lot of people did horrible things to get rid of them. You know, and I understand it. I do. But that's not my heart. I don't. Yeah, no. I like little furry critters, as long as they're, you know, non-intrusive, nice, and not dangerous. That's just me. So yes, we have a sweet little house mouse at the moment, and he has about 2 weeks of freedom. That's about all he's got left. And then things are going to have to change just a bit, and he's probably going to get upset when he gets caught, but please don't worry, I'm using completely humane traps. There's no way for them to get hurt. And there's no way for my pups to get to them once they're in that trap. So, I was very, very, very cautious when I was looking. Because I don't want to harm anything that I don't have to. It's just not my heart, you guys. Believe me, I was so mad at first. I thought about feeding them to Dusty's snake. But I just don't have the heart to do that. And thankfully his snake doesn't eat live prey anyway. So, that's okay. Alright, we're going to sharpen this one up because it's just not quite a fine enough point. This is, these are hard to read, chrome oxide green. And my little sharpening thing, this is my favorite sharpener in the whole world. This is the Alvin Bullet 604, and it's heavy. And what happens is it's weighted in a way that if you have the sharpening side facing down into a little container, such as this, it does a lot of the work for you. It makes sharpening so good and easy. Because I have arthritis pretty badly in my hands. It's part of why I don't have a guitar and play guitar anymore. I mean, if I had mine, I'd probably still hurt my hands just to play it because I loved playing. But I don't have an acoustic anymore. So, but this is my favorite sharpener. And there are replacement blades to get for it, which is nice. So you're not spending, you know, the $8 on $8 to $25 on the sharpener, depending on where you buy it. I think it originally cost me about $10, but right now on Amazon it is $8. But it is the Alvin Bullet 604 model. Because there are different ones. I love, love, love that sharpener. I think everyone who colors or draws could use one of those. But, you know, it's so nice. I don't have a battery-powered or electric one. I'd love to get one that is a long point sharpener, because I work from my pencils on the side far back when I'm drawing, when I'm doing my artwork, because it gives me control over the very, very light layers and makes it easier to see where the pencil tip is touching down. And as you can tell, my layers are super, super, super light. That's just me. But I know a lot of my diamond painting friends color, so I know that for a fact. So this has just, that was my little mouse getting a pistachio. You can hear him. He's cute. He's cute as long as he stays away from me. How's that? There he goes. He's moving around and they're picking his pistachio, I guess. Weirdo. Weird little mouse. But, you know, hey, as long as he's not hurting my puppies, we're okay. That's the only food in my room. are those doggone pistachios. That's the only thing to eat in this bedroom. Other than puppy food. There is puppy food in my room, but it's elevated so that the mice have a hard time getting to it. Because I don't want them in the puppy food. And I make sure it's not out at night now. I used to just free feed my babies 24 hours a day, but until these things are gone, I can't do that. And right now, my poor little Snowflake has been ill and is still ill, so I've got her also eating canned food, which means all the puppies are getting a little canned food. That's okay. And I just don't understand it. Spirit suddenly lost weight, my big puppy, and a significant amount. This summer he thinned down way more than I would like, and so much more than I'm comfortable with. So he is also getting extra canned food and meat and rice because, yeah, it's not okay if I can feel the ribs. I'm not happy. And then pretty soon I will have my son start taking him for WALKS. No, I cannot say it around them because, oh my goodness, you want to hear barking? That's going to be it. Right there. It's going to make Chrissy go crazy. Because she loves those. Oh my goodness, does she ever. All four of the white ones do. Spooky would prefer to never, ever go anywhere near the outside other than his yard. He is kind of a funny little guy that way. He doesn't like to go outside. You absolutely cannot put a leash on him and walk him. You can't get a collar or a harness on him. It's not going to happen. So, nope. He runs the yard. We're good. He has a big, huge backyard, and he runs around and plays in it and has a good time. So, oops, sorry I tapped you there. Alright, I'm going to add something that's a little more of what Mary calls a dirty green. Silly, but chrome oxide green is what we're going to use for the moment. I do not have my glasses on, so kind of crazy there. But I want a little less of a yellowy, a little more of a brown in here on some of these areas, just to give it. I know it's silly. I could do this so simply, and instead, of course, anybody who's known me for any length of time with my diamond painting, I always go for the big detailed diamond paintings. I have them made from my own photographs. I'm crazy. I like the details. My artwork is super detailed. I'm seriously considering talking to a company about allowing some of my artwork to be used for diamond paintings. Because I had a few comments from people that they wish that they had my tiger in their home. And, you know, it is for sale. It's very expensive, but it is for sale. So I thought, well, what about, you know, maybe allowing it to be used for diamond paintings? Because people love that image so much. So we'll see. I do have some nice, fun things coming up for my diamond painters. As a matter of fact, I have one that I have to film an opening and review of today from a company I've not worked with before. And I know some other things are currently being made for me to open for you guys and review. So, yeah, super excited. I think if I can get time, my next drawing will be a Christmas image, but I just don't know if I can get it done before Christmas when I have all this other stuff going on. I don't see how, because it would need to be pretty big, and it is an image that some of you saw on Facebook last year, and everybody that saw it just loved it. It was our Christmas tree, you know, in the dark, so it was just glowing beautifully with Chrissy sleeping underneath it. It was so sweet, and I was told it could not be made into a paint by numbers or diamond painting because it just was, you know, not big enough detail for them. But if I do it myself with my my drawing. Now that's different. I can enlarge it and add all the detail that I would love to have show. So that is a goal for me to do by next Christmas, because it will probably take me that long to get that done and fit it in. I might try to start it this year. We'll see. We will see. Let me see where we're at on time. Oof. Amazing. Time goes by so quick, you guys. It really, really, really does. It just moves so fast. Kind of amazing to me. So there we have some holly, which, you know, for many people is a big sign of Christmas. I don't think it grows here. Truthfully, I don't think holly grows in Arizona. We're just too warm. It could up north. I don't know. I've not seen it myself, but I don't spend a lot of time up north. Obviously, I don't travel anymore. My health just won't do that. I'm just adding a tiny bit of highlight on a few of the little berries. Because, well, that's me. I do silly things like that sometimes. And you can see this poor Prisma White's about dead. It's one of my favorite whites to use for highlighting. So those are done. Okay. Amazing. Those are done. I need to watch a video. Darn it, I don't have that. Hold on, let me go see if I have something. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I had to go searching, and then my brain remembered that I don't have fancy Posca pens, guys. I don't, because, you know, those are expensive, but I did get a set of these that are essentially the same thing. Super fine point, water-based acrylic paint. And I wanted a gold. I was looking for a gold gel pen going through the stuff that I have for my grandson to color when he comes over. And didn't find one, which was sad. Okay, are you gonna work? Thank you very much. So now just light amount. I know my hand is in the way at the moment, but it won't be in a moment. And then the thing about acrylic paint, when you are working with liquid on paper, which I'm making sure it's not going through, thank goodness, is you can draw on top of acrylic. And it will stay. It's archival. If you do acrylic on top of colored pencil, it will eventually flake off. Just for those of you who are not aware of that, at some point it will start to chip and mess up. But if you put it down first, it will grab onto your substrate, which is your paper or your canvas, and you can put colored pencil over it and it will stay. It's just one of those things. You always do your water-based stuff under your colored pencils. You do not do it the other way around if you want it to be permanent. And this I would like to see live for generations, so we shall see. Or at least one or two more. You know. Get through my grandkids. So I am hoping for Christmas Eve with them, but if I'm contagious like I was on Thanksgiving, that won't happen. And then I will go around this with a very fine black pen to make sure, or black pencil to make sure that there's no problem with this at all. But I thought I'd spend the last few minutes of you making this ribbon gold, because for some reason that's the color my brain thinks it should be. Which means I'm probably going to go through this paint pen in this book. But yes, this is a super fine tip one, because I wanted to be able to get into teeny little spaces with it. You know? And acrylic is very, very, very fast drying, so that is a good thing. And then I can add darken the areas that were grayscaled. Like the shadow right there that you can't see now because of the paint pen. But I didn't have a pencil that was going to work the way I wanted it to, so it wasn't going to come out looking quite metallic enough. Especially not for this first page. I'm just being picky and finicky again. Ooh, what are you guys going to have for dinner? Because I don't know what I'm making yet. If I had my druthers, I would do my prime rib that my entire family loves, but it all depends on budget. And I'm not sure where that's at the moment. So we will see. It could be as simple as a basic turkey and some of my cranberry pecan dressing. And if nobody's coming over and I'm sick and can't go anywhere, then, I don't know, probably some chicken. Because that's simpler. If I'm going to be here by myself, if I'm contagious again, I will probably just eat some chicken of some sort. Well, I do have turkey breasts. I can throw one in a crock pot, so, yeah. Whatever. Easy enough, right? Easy enough. That's what I did with the last turkey breast after Thanksgiving, is I threw 2 of them in a crock pot and made some herb dressing with dried cranberries that, of course, became rehydrated and were delicious. But I'm going to cut the rest of the leftover turkey up and give it to the babies. Ooh, nice and sparkly, shiny. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. Okay. That just confirmed that I did what I wanted it to look like for the babies. Because my grandson will love that. Danny will go nuts for the metallic image stuff. How'd you do that, Grandmom? That's what I'm going to hear. He's such a cutie. I haven't talked to him in about a week. They've had a lot going on, and Grandmom's not been able to sit on the phone, so that has been difficult. Because I haven't been able to get off the phone with a friend of mine. She's had a little bit of a rough time lately. And when I get a chance, every chance I get, I talk to my little sister, because she is very, very ill right now. And she's very, very important to me. Okay. So there's one of them. I'm guessing, yeah, we have enough time to do the other one. I don't know if we have enough time for me to put in the little bit of black pencil on top of there, but we'll see. We will see. I know you're hearing all the ambient noise from outside because, of course, my window's open because I want to hear the rain and feel all that nice cold air. Because we never get cool air here. It's so awesome. And I have the back door open so that fresh air is going throughout the house and the babies can go out as they want. They're being so sweet and just laying still, sleeping. All the pretty puppies. Yeah, they're all next to me asleep or on the puppy pillow. Next to my bed. Depends on which puppy you're talking about. Chrissy's laying with her favorite stuffed piggy. I had the worst time getting them their favorite biscuits. Oh my lord. Ordered it twice from Costco. Nope, couldn't get them. So twice they refunded my money. Found them accidentally on Amazon, and it ends up costing me $1 or so less than if I pay the delivery fee through Instacart right now, because apparently they have decided that it's okay to increase their delivery fee to $10. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So now we're just waiting. I think they're supposed to be here Monday. It's either Friday or Monday. I'd have to look, and right now I can't do that. So yeah, we will get their Christmas biscuits in. And by accident, we found out because a friend sent a thing of treats for the babies. She thought she was getting one thing and turned around and sent something else, which ended up being a very happy accident. Snowflake with the side of her face and her ear so sick right now. She has, trouble chewing crunchy things. So she sent these little treats that are softer on the outside than the normal biscuits I get them, which are not Snowflake's favorite anyway. She likes them, but she doesn't go after them like she does these things, and they have actual bone marrow in the center of them. So it's like a marrow treat, a beef marrow treat, and oh my goodness, all the puppies love them, but Snowflake, oof, yeah, she loves those. I think she'll ignore the chicken and rice biscuits to get a couple of those, personally, which is easier for her to eat, so it's okay. As long as she gets something that cleans up her teeth and gives her that little extra nutrition, I'm happy mommy. Not like they're not fed well, believe me. My puppies eat better than a lot of humans do, because they're mine. I actually had somebody one time tell me that when they passed away, they hoped that they would come back as one of my Eskies. And I'm like, well, those positions are already filled, but why? And I was told that, yeah, I'm just a really good puppy mommy, and that they're well fed and well loved, and it would be nice to, if reincarnation is a thing, they'd like to come back as one of my babies. And I went, well, there aren't going to be any more, but, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm done. This is enough puppies for a lifetime, so I'm good. I think 7 is my number. I have 5 here and 2 in heaven, and I'm praying the 5 that are here will stick around for a long time. So that works for me. I think I will probably be spending my day after I've finished filming the little video that needs to go up right away. I'll probably spend the rest of my day working on this book, or my Kirby Rosanis Dragon I'm trying to finish, because it was supposed to be a December challenge thing, and it got extended into January now. And I keep trying to convince myself it's okay, you don't have to meet the December 31st deadline now, take a breath. But my brain keeps wanting to just get it finished. I don't like having all these whips. I like to have things completed. But I know one of these days, very soon, I need to just put everything that requires me being upright or with some kind of pen, pencil, or something in my hand, and just relax with my babies. It's hard for me to not be doing something. I'm very, very fidgety all the time. Always have been. It's a little thing with me. Just don't know why. Probably because I typically am very anxious. Probably. I do want to come across there. Because, I just do. Anyway. But yes, please let me know what you guys got for Christmas. What did you get to do for Christmas, if anything? Or are you like I was for Thanksgiving and might be for Christmas and just home with your furry babies, if you have them? And if not, you maybe want one. Fur babies need homes, and Christmas is a good time. Christmas and the heat of summer are good times for puppies to get new families, because they need them so badly at those times of year. There just aren't a lot of homes for them, and they need them. So, yeah. Well, we have just a few minutes left. I'm going to grab this particular black pencil and put those little lowlights in, and then I'm going to let you go, because I know that there are people that are streaming after me, and I would like for you to be able to go over and enjoy their shows as well. I am going to, like I said, have as peaceful a day as I possibly can. My son is laying down for a nap. My puppies are obviously taking a nap as well at the moment. They're tired. They're tired. And apparently my little house mouse has gone to sleep as well because he's not moving around anymore. And that normally means that it's nap time for him. I don't know why I've suddenly adopted this darn thing, but apparently I have. If I don't lose my sanity just because it's in my house, you know, it's kind of a freaky thing for me. I don't like it. But, you know, it's a living thing. And it's not toxic to my family, so, you know, we gotta be kind of understanding if possible. But I hope that you all have a great rest of your Christmas day. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas Eve. And I really, really hope that you enjoy the remainder of the premieres if you are watching. And just, you know, maybe you're done with all the work for your Christmas and you can sit back and relax and be done with the cooking and all of that. So if that's the case, just kick back, enjoy, relax, have a good time. And either way, to all of you, Merry Christmas. You are all in my thoughts and prayers. And I will talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.